everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Giants. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. The numbers for him from a week ago. 15 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep down. He's got him in. Complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, That opened things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll set up to throw. Open man right side is Ingram. And he will take it all in for a giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Here we go. Green, 39.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The numbers for Mixon last week: 25 carries, 98 yards, and a score.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a change-up.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, look at the starters now on the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Here we go. Green, 30.
He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
This is taken around the 12. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Hey, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations.
Robert Woods, touchdown, Giants. Robert Woods, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message They said there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now Joe Mixon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Now let's go. Boom, landed.
Back to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They come out here in the eye.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. That's complete, right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And before we can get to the field goal try, time will run out on this first quarter of play. 14-3, that's our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on eSports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And this defense not giving him anything there, maybe a yard up to the 36.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in this.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 40. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go now.
A handoff to Mixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And that is not a sight they want to see. Joe Mixon very slow to get up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Let's go. What? Nothing. What? Nothing.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. David Njoku was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Looking to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
He's going to get it running right. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This is 3rd and goal. And this Giants defense, they have withstood the test thus far. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. What a stand so far defensively. And now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Then on the ground they go with a running back. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
Yeah, he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
They'll look to throw here on first down. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? A first down carry for Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Shepard. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Here we go now.
Back to throw now on first down. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Green 39! Green 39!
He'll drop to throw. It's caught. Shepard. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. A solid move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. Down at the 2. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They're going to look to throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Nick O'Leary, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Returning it, John Ross. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he's into the clear. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that'll cut the lead to 21-17. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3 to win
every single time.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
All right, here we go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
They'll drop the throw. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here at half number 1. The Giants on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Now let's go.
Back to throw here. before getting this inside the 25. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Now Ross to return. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And it's the Raiders who have the lead in that one. Derek Carr lighting it up. 3 touchdown passes there. From there, we head to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And now here's Ross. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. A second quarter score from down in Houston. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Oh, a 360. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk about football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Right back to him on first down. He spins free and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Set! Green 39!
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns have cut it back within a score.
I can't help it, partner. I love backs who have a lot of burst.
Yeah, they ran the toss play. By the way, sometimes you'll hear toss and pitch used interchangeably, but that was the toss.
Well, for me, a toss, quarterback takes the snap, turns around, tosses it to
like
the tailback.
Like an egg underhand.
Yeah, like an egg underhand, really with 2 hands. And a pitch, usually like you're running an option-type play, and you pitch it out there to the trailing back.
Goes end over end like a field goal.
Yeah, where you turn it over, make sure that thumb turns down, and the ball flips end over end slowly and delicately to your running back.
They'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Powers ahead at the 45. Right side complete. That's Woods. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Set! 3-19!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Here's a give to Barkley. And some room to roam now. And room there to work it inside the 25. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On second down, here's Barkley, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Let's go. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. The quick slant caught. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Ross to return. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Set. Blue line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. Spinning away, and he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And they'll run it here. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Set. Blue line.
Now back to throw. He's got his tight end in Njoku. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, I mean, can flat-out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
Set! Blue landed!
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Hurry up, here we go!
This is Logan. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Now a play fake here on first down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Now let's go!
Back to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. John Timu in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop it for a loss of about 10.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth. The Browns on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth quarter advantage.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now Saquon Barkley, he'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Here we go now.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
First play of the drive, a 1st down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And they'll go on the ground. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
All right, here we go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. My music teacher back in New Paltz, this is by Thema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. A handoff to Barkley. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Giants on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. They got a man. It's Woods. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Let's go.
Looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Woods. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And Woods has it complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Let's go.
They'll go to Barkley again. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
His kick is indeed good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. That throw good for 4. It's second down. They'll look to throw here. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Robert in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll drop to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
This is Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility the entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Giants, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Browns, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.